Hai semua, jadi kalau anda seperti katak di batu porong atau tak mengikut perkembangan semasa dalam dunia software engineering, especially yang related to AI, sekarang ni ada banyak tool dan teknologi yang actually mengubah cara kita program nowadays. So dalam video ni saya akan tunjukkan some of the tools yang ada yang saya sendiri guna, and saya akan ceritakan apakahnya impact this technology kepada pekerjaan software engineering. Sebab this thing is really going to change how people work, and probably it's going to reduce the amount of people getting a job in software tech. So before we talk about the bad stuff and the good stuff of AI in software development field, mari saya tunjukkan sedikit some of the tools that I'm currently using, so you can get a good picture on how good this thing is nowadays. Okay, so one of the big things yang ada sekarang is actually AI powered IDE. This is actually Cursor, but it looks pretty much the same as the Visual Studio Code. Kita ada terminal kat bawah ni, kita ada the code editor itself, and at the left or right so you have the file directory, which is pretty much all the same. If I were to open my Visual Studio Code, so this is Cursor and this is Visual Studio Code. So if you look at the interface itself, memang lebih kurang sama je. Kita ada kita punya code editor kat tengah, kat belah kanan kita ada punya file directory. This is where I put it. You can go to the left side if you want, and we also have our terminal here down. Tapi yang membezakan Visual Studio Code dan juga Cursor, which is a AI powered editor, is the capability of AI integrated. So if I press Command I, kita akan ada satu ruang di mana kita boleh berchat dengan AI ni berkenaan kita punya code base. So to show you the capabilities of how AI can really change how we code nowadays, I'm going to open my simulator. So sekarang ni ini adalah app yang saya sedang bina, which is Cursor. I'm going to show you how it's easy to implement certain features dengan Cursor. Saya akan minta untuk AI untuk bawakan kita punya search bar ni ke bawah hanya dengan bagi instruction. So first of all, kita kena make sure kita ala dalam file yang akan work on this interface, which is indicate it's going to be mails.tsx kat sini. I'm just going to remove everything so it won't kacau, and make sure that the app actually rendered correctly with the updated code. And then we're just going to say, let's make a new chat here, make sure this is in the right file, and then we'll just say, can you move the search bar to the bottom of the page? So now what's currently going to happen, AI is going to pretty much going to read the code that we have on the mails.tsx and then do the necessary changes. So kat sini, all I do is just give some instruction, or we call this as prompts, to the AI, and dia akan generate the code necessary untuk menggerakkan the search bar ke bawah. It can take some time, but usually it will not take much time macam mana kalau the usual way of people coding. So currently it's doing the processes, it also do some thinking, it also talk about the thought processes yang AI ni ada, so anda boleh baca macam mana dia bergerak. So kat sini it's actually done with it, and kalau anda perasan kita dah berjaya gerakkan kita search bar kat bawah dekat sini, nampak? In terms of the functionality itself, dia masih lagi kekalkan functionality. So kalau contoh saya cari one of the items yang ada, so saya kata merah, it able to still get the item that have merah, and the function still sticks. So nampak ni, dengan adanya this thing, right, you can really speed up your coding process. Sebab kalau anda bayangkan kan, kalau seseorang tu macam dah familiar dengan this code base, of course it's going to be very easy to change it. Tapi kalau sesiapa yang baru, yang tak biasa dengan code base, might take some time, probably 2 to 3 hours, or worse kalau dia macam memang baru dalam project ni, probably 1 day, just to move this search bar from top to bottom. Having a AI powered IDE really speed up the process. So this is one of the current AI tool yang saya sendiri guna. I'm really using Cursor on a lot of my work, personal projects, dan juga dalam kerja saya. Okay, so I'm going to show you one more thing, which is a no-code AI builder. Ada banyak yang amazing nowadays, like lovable bolt.dev, but I'm going to show you VO by Vercel. Let's say you want to build something, so dekat sini anda boleh prompt je apa-apa saja, website atau web app yang anda ingin bina. So let's just make a lucky draw website of some sort. Can you make a website of lucky draw where user can insert names for the lucky draw, show a roulette at the middle that spins when trying to draw a name. So what happening is currently we just give it a prompt again. People who want to use this VO does not necessarily need to know how to code, but again, having the ability to know how to code really helpful. But again, I don't touch any of this code yet. The AI generate the code itself. As you can see, it's doing the thinking, so we just wait for it to do the process. What really interesting is I just give a prompt Of course, if you give a more detailed explanation, detailed requirements, it's going to be able to generate a better website that really suit what you need. But I'm not going to bother to think about that. I'm just going to give a simple requirement and simple prompt over here, and then let the AI do its stuff. Alright, so after some time, which is I think less than 5 minutes, it's able to actually generate the website. Of course, it's not as beautiful as we expected because I don't really explain about the sort of UI ataupun the styling of the website. Tapi kalau anda perasan, kita dah ada apa yang kita nak. So kalau saya add nama Syarif kat sini and let's say Hafizuddin. So as you can see, it really follows the requirement that we stated, although it is a bit iffy in terms of what it looks like. Sekarang namanya tengah terbalik, tapi the essence of the website is what we needed. So now we're able to enter the participant's name. Sekarang kita boleh spin the wheel, so it actually spins, which is really cool actually. And then we can see the name. The one is Ali. There's one more type of AI tool yang ada sekarang, which is I think it's quite early, it's not mature yet, tapi personally saya rasa kalau this tech is going to mature, it's really going to change the landscape of software development. And this one is more on actually replacing software engineers themselves. This is quite new. I mean, a lot of people have started using it. It's quite amazing. Kalau ada search pasal people yang ada guna, a lot of people can achieve something with this, some not. So it's quite new, tapi I can see that this is going to really change the landscape in the future. So this is Devin. Essentially, it replaces a software engineer itself. So sekarang kalau anda perasan macam this stuff is actually really changing that software development field. And macam mana kalau kita sebagai seorang yang akan masuk ataupun fresh grad yang akan masuk dalam dunia ni untuk survive, sebab sekarang ni kita boleh nampak macam software development ni boleh di-replace dengan AI. So if we look at the current traditional software development team without AI, kita ada a group of people, which is the first kita ada community tech lead, basically the one that manages the product end to end, and then we have some front end and a back end, and probably in the front end ada satu senior and the other is junior, while the back end akan ada satu senior and ada dua junior. So this is the current state of software development team, and in my opinion, in the future, bila this AI tech will become much more, efficient, useful, and more dependable, it might look like this more AI. It's not going to replace everything. We still need a human, because in the end of the day, we need someone to be responsible towards the AI and also someone to review the AI work. Now, we still have the tech lead, of course, the one that manages the tech of the product. We still have the senior for both front end and back end, but probably the junior will be replaced by AI. So the reason why is because AI is really good on doing stuff that we really explain detailed requirement, and usually junior level, they are more good in following what is being given. So if they are being given the description of the requirement, a really good developer note, acceptance criteria is clear, then this junior developer can follow it. It's pretty much the same as AI. If you state the instruction properly, then this AI can do it. So the difference that we can see, more like the difference between a human and an AI, is that they understand the requirement and the future out of the requirement. AI really just follow without question. Human being really question about why we do this stuff. But probably in the future, probably we can actually eliminate everyone, but I don't know. This is the current state of things that I believe is there. I still believe a human intervention is needed in whatever we do. So if we look at this, right, this is going to impact the people who are going to be getting into junior role. And why do I say this? Because one of the biggest difference between a robot and human is that robots are much more cheaper than human, right? So people will opt for a more cost-efficient option, which is of course using AI rather than human being. So this is quite worrying to some people who are going to be entering this field. So this is the bad stuff for people who are going to be joining the software development field as a junior. While AI promises to generate new jobs, it's also going to be a risk for those who doesn't adapt to this new technology. And to summarize the bad stuff, pretty much AI going to replace our jobs in junior software development roles, which is bad if I were to be honest, meaning that a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. Tapi I think it's best for us to really, look into another perspective of AI, or whenever we have new technology, because the main reason why people create new stuff, innovation, is to make our lives easier, and AI is also that. Sekarang ni kalau perasan, sebenarnya dalam Kerja is it allows me to implement my features on my app much faster than before. And to be honest, if you've been in the software development field for a very long time, anda akan perasan sebenarnya banyak benda yang membuang masa. Sebagai contoh macam debugging, kenapa ada bug dekat dalam app, writing unit tests, and then trying to get code coverage on your unit test. So there's a lot of actually mundane thing yang I think it's better for someone else to do it rather than a programmer do it. So having an AI really helps a lot on doing all this kind of things, so that we as a programmer can focus on more on developing the software architecture and thinking of the best solution on how to implement certain features and fixing certain bugs. So with that being said, how do you, as someone who's going to getting into the software tech or someone who are currently in, to stay relevant in this industry? There are two things that you need to have. It's quite simple. It's good technical knowledge and actually using the AI tool in your day-to-day work, or learning how to use it. And the reason number one is why a good general technical knowledge is because in the end of the day, we human beings are the one that instruct this AI. This AI are really good in following instructions, but in the end of the day, we human being has the judgment and the wisdom on what we think is the best way to develop or implement something. Of course, the AI can suggest what is good, what is bad, but in the end of the day, we are the one that give the decision. We decide what is best, and that is why we need to have a good technical knowledge to come up with a decision. How do we want to develop this really good technical knowledge, right? Of course, it's a lot of reading, tapi this is how I do it, is to use AI to supplement your learnings. So sekarang ni bila anda sedang implement something and then you found out something interesting, tanya AI, kenapa this is better? Why does this method is better? Why does this method is faster? Is there a better way to implement things? So this way you can actually learn something new from people who wrote the code, and probably can think about a better way to improve things. Aside from that is to really supplement yourself with the fundamentals of computer science. And I think one of the best place to learn is actually from a YouTube video by Harvard CS50. So this CS50 is like 24 hours code, but it really covered the concept. It doesn't really go to the framework. So take your time to actually watch this. Tengok slow, jangan rush. Take your time to actually learn. And second is, of course, to learn how to use AI itself. AI again is another tool that make our life easier. And sekarang ada banyak tools yang anda boleh guna, walaupun kebanyakan tool ni berbayar. Tapi there are some tools that are actually quite free, which is of course ChatGPT, and then we have Cloud from Anthropic. So if you are someone in software development, Cloud from Anthropic is one of the best coding models yang ada dekat luar sana. And then kalau anda ingin guna something yang macam Cursor tapi free, actually GitHub Copilot is free. They have a free tier currently, so you can try it out if you interested to try. But if you want to use Cursor pun boleh. Cursor ada macam trial, anda boleh cuba guna. I think it's like 1 month code. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you learned something in this video about AI. That's all from me. Jumpa anda di video yang seterusnya. Bye bye.